All right, for those of you who used to follow me on YouTube, do you remember about 4 years ago, Venezuela was having this political crisis where they had two guys both proclaiming themselves president of Venezuela at the same time. There was Nicolas Maduro, the so-called socialist dictator, and there was Juan Guaido. And if you remember, I was never a fan of Juan Guaido. I thought his claims to the presidency were pretty asinine, and I criticized their government for supporting him. I was worried our country was going to get into a war with Venezuela trying to put this moron into power when no one in Venezuela wanted him to be president of Venezuela. And even though we didn't like him, we should just accept that Maduro was in charge of Venezuela. Well, flash forward 4 years later, and our country, United States, needs some oil. So there's talks going on in Venezuela right now to ease some of the oil sanctions that we have against them so we can get some of that. There's going to be some prisoners that will be freed and whatnot. And who are we talking to in Venezuela to make that happen? The Maduro government. That's right, we bypassed Guaido, who we still say is the legitimate president of Venezuela, and we're talking to Maduro to get ourselves some oil. Now, does this mean that our government doesn't consider Guaido to be the legitimate president of Venezuela anymore? I think it just means they don't care one way or another. They know they got to go through Maduro, and Guaido is just useless. So I wonder what this means for him now. He's going to have to pretend to be something else. You know, pretending to be president of Venezuela isn't going to work anymore. He should pretend to be a disposed prince of Nigeria or the Dauphin of France. Or I know, he could pretend that he is Anastasia Romanov, heir to the Russian throne.